Hello there. The Remainers will get back to Westminster after Christmas, intent on putting as many Brexit stumbling blocks and bear traps in place as they possibly can. Now, I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas and are gearing up for a happy and prosperous Brexit New Year. And there's only now 92 days to go until the day that the UK exits the European Union. In fact, this Saturday, the 29th of December, is exactly 3 months to go. But as most of you are aware, the Remainers are intent on putting some tank traps in the way of Brexit progress as they fight their rearguard action. The very first of these is a vote due for Tuesday the 8th of January on a Remainer amendment to the new finance bill, put forward by Labour's Yvette Cooper and signed by Tory MPs Nicky Morgan, Oliver Letwin and Nick Bowles, together with Labour MPs Hilary Benn and Harriet Harman. This has the potential of, amongst other things, stopping spending on the no-deal scenario without parliamentary approval, if it gets voted through, that is. But this will be just the first shot of the year, as some MPs are intent on tabling as many amendments to Brexit legislation as they can, with the aim of getting an extension or revocation of Article 50 so as to give time, they will say, to renegotiate a deal or hold another EU referendum. There has even been talk of not approving Whitehall Department spending that would completely shut down government and really apply the pressure. Wonder if that would include social care, the NHS and pensions though. They probably think that if they can stop no deal happening from a UK legal standpoint, then they can launch an attack on Theresa May's deal and get that thrown out by mid-January, leaving too little time, about 2 months at best, to get a new deal or to hold a referendum, so forcing the UK to go to Brussels and ask for an extension to the Article 50 negotiating period, or, if the EU refuses to play ball and extend Article 50, then the UK government would be forced to revoke the Article 50 letter, so reversing Brexit altogether, and that's the one the Remainers really want. The trouble for them is that if they overplay the WTO no-deal scenario hand too early in the game, it might just scare their fellow MPs into voting for Theresa May's absolutely awful deal. Now that would be a total calamity for the country and a disaster for any MP hoping to continue in their job at the next election. But of course this so-called deal being touted by the PM is not really a deal at all. It is a legally binding agreement that only gets us as far as the halfway house between prison and freedom, with all of the prison and none of the freedoms. Then, when we're stuck in that halfway house, we would be forced to further negotiate with our jailers based on a vague promissory note for our release, and Lord alone knows how long that would take and how expensive it would prove to be. Now, Theresa May's side will be pushing the deal and using her Brexit rebuttal unit to try and push it on to the doubters. But an article by David Blake in Briefings for Brexit outlines how bad this deal is and how false the claims of the rebuttal unit are. I've left a link to that article in the descriptions box below. The article calls Mrs May the most dangerously naive Prime Minister ever to govern the UK, and highlights the truth about the enduring nature of the lock, otherwise known as the Irish backstop. It also points out that we owe the EU nothing, so why is May so keen to hand over 39 billion quid just so that they can sell their stuff to us? And it also explains why free trade deals would be out of our grasp, and that the PM's deal actually endangers national security. Worse, it also says of her so-called deal, it was drafted by European Commission lawyers and it appears that the only role of UK negotiators was to raise objections to the proposed text in the different drafts. Which, if true, is an absolute scandal. So I have no problem with anyone trashing the PM's deal, but remember it will be the MPs voting on it, so they must be told by us, their electors, to reject it or face a loss of votes for them and their party at the next election. Now, if it is successfully rejected once, there is talk of May giving it another shot, probably after increasing the no-deal scaremongering and trying to get something out of the Eurocrats to sweeten the deal a bit. But if it failed the first time, then without a real substantial change, then it would probably fail a second time. After this, in the face of no-deal project fear, or no deal being made unavailable by Parliament, will come the calls to try and negotiate an extension of Article 50 or to unilaterally revoke it, probably on the pretext of negotiating another deal, but all the while they will be pushing and pushing for another EU referendum. It is therefore up to the Brexiteers to start their own campaign of showing that, far from being the end of the world as we know it, a full exit from the EU on WTO terms will in fact prove to be the best option for the UK. That the ability to control our own tariffs will be of benefit to the UK consumer with lower prices, and that the money collected via tariffs will go directly into our own treasury instead of the bottomless Brussels coffers. That it would immediately allow the UK to control its own fisheries policy, its own agricultural policy, and once again determine who can and cannot enter the UK. We Brexiteers need to step up to the plate and point out that Theresa May's deal means at least 2 more years of Brexit uncertainty with no control, while we try to thrash out the next and even more difficult stage of Theresa May's proposals. The voters must be made fully aware of the repercussions of tying ourselves into an extremely uncertain Brexit halfway house for many years with no exit door yet identified. The people also need to be reminded of how long the last referendum took to hold, and that if there were another one, it would probably be the same sort of timescale the next time, if not longer, as Parliament tried to make it safe from overspending, immune to false campaign claims, and preventing alleged foreign government tampering. And at the end of the day, all that this added time will do is throw more uncertainty into the economy. Now, Theresa May and her cronies are always telling us that the people just want them to get on with Brexit. Well, my message to them and the voters is that her deal is not getting on with it. Her deal is delaying it by adding another 2+ years to the whole process with no guarantees. And my message to those wanting another referendum is, sorry, but you are the cause of all the economic disruption that you try to blame others for. No, the only true way to really get on with Brexit, to make Brexit stick, to definitely put the whole thing behind us once and for all, is to leave without a deal at 11 p.m. on the 29th of March 2019. Surely this is the overall best result for the long-suffering UK citizenry. So, please let us all know what you think about this by leaving a comment below, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.